Mark, what's going on, bro? Hey, man, welcome everybody to another episode of the Sports Roundtable, man, with my best friend Mark. What's going on, bro?
Not much, man. How you doing up there? I see what type of mood you in. Now that's a contradiction. What you got going? You drinking out that cup and with that shirt on, man.
Hey, this means I support the University of Auburn, but we need to
Okay,
find Hugh Freeze. That's what. But
okay,
we'll get to
okay,
that one later on. We'll get
okay,
to that. We'll get to that one. I want the best for the University of Auburn. But hey,
okay.
bro. Hey, man. Before we kick it off, man. Hey, I want to thank everybody for that's watching our channel, subscribing to our channel, man. Our videos are going up and up with viewership. Our subscribers are going up. I mean, I appreciate that. Me and Mark, both of us, we appreciate everybody that's supporting our channel, man. Um,
Definitely,
yeah, bro. Yeah, man. I'm glad everybody's enjoying what they're watching. But Mark, man, hey, bro, we gotta keep this thing off, man. It's just so much going on right now with NFL, college football, bro. So, I mean, what the hot topic right now is Tyreek Hill being handcuffed. I'm not gonna say arrested, but handcuffed, going to the facility, going to the stadium for his game on Sunday. And obviously the videos, body cam videos came out. And before I kind of give my take on it, man, I want to pass off to you, bro. Like with the body cam footage that we seen, what you think about what's going on, bro?
yeah. So he was speeding headed to the stadium to get ready for the game,
Yep.
and yeah, they pulled him over. It looked like it was about 4 or 5 of them. I don't know why it was so many of them.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Yep.
fast he was going over the speed limit, but yeah, they pulled him over on the way to the game and stopped him, questioned him in regards to, I guess, why he was going so fast, and knocking on his window. And I know he rolled his window up on him at one point in time, but he was telling him just go ahead and do what you need to do, give him his ticket so he can go.
Yep.
Um, and things just got out of control from there at that point in time. That's when they opened his door and pulled him out
Yeah.
and all that. Which was, I definitely think a lot of it was uncalled for.
Yep. Yep.
It was
Yep.
it was too much to do for a traffic violation, a speeding ticket at
Mhm.
that point in time. And definitely once it escalated, it kept escalating.
Yeah.
It's like it was no officer on the scene, to de-escalate the situation, because it definitely shouldn't have went that far.
Yep.
To where it went, for them basically chokehold him and put him trying to sit him down on the curb, and
Hmm.
you know, having them face down on the ground,
Hmm.
and putting them in cuffs. It was just too much. And then how they treated his teammates, who
Yeah.
checked
Yeah.
to see what was
Yep.
going on.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, it was too much. It was definitely too much going on at that point in time. I'm glad he was on the phone with the security
Yeah.
team.
It was the security and his agent, Drew
Right,
Rosen.
right, right, right,
Yeah.
right, right,
Yep.
right. So they got over there in time. When
Yep.
I guess it took a couple of minutes, they said, because they couldn't find them, but I guess they left the stadium as soon as they heard what was going on, and came over
Yeah.
there to go ahead and rectify the situation. But I definitely think it was definitely too much. It went too far. Just for, like I said, a simple traffic violation that could have been taken care of in no time, and everybody could have went along their way.
Yeah.
Um, but
I
sometimes
think
you just have to appease them. You know,
exactly.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Don't rile up the situation, because that'll, like I said, intensity meets intensity. On the same level sometimes. So,
Yeah.
like I said, nobody was de-escalating the situation. I guess besides his teammate, who was there to try to de-escalate it, see
Yeah.
what was going on. But they were getting hostile with him.
Yeah.
You know?
So yeah, and it was the same cop.
Right,
Um.
right, right, right. And that same cop, he overstepped another cop at that point in time, because his teammate was like, he just told me to do this. He like, well, you talking to me now. So
Yep.
it's like he just wanted smoke,
Yeah.
from anybody
Yeah.
near him at that point in time. So that's, like I said, nobody was de-escalating the situation. It just kept getting worse. It kept climaxing, which is definitely what you don't need in these times. You know, with what's going on and what's
Oh
missing.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, so I say this, Mark. I say this, man. So so today I seen on the news that essentially they didn't pull them over for speeding. Now, I mean, this report saying that I think I seen this around like 9:30. All right. Because they were showing a video on ESPN, blah, blah, blah. All right. And they said, oh, he got pulled over because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Now, if you remember the body cam footage, it said, why are you not wearing a seatbelt? He didn't want to roll the window down, and then he was, and I'm assuming that he didn't want to roll the window down because he was on the phone with head of security because he was right outside the stadium, and also he was trying to communicate with his to try to count it like, hey, I don't want to expose too much attention to myself. I'm already in a $300,000 car. I don't want to expose myself too much. All right. So, but that's a pass. They pulled him over rigid for seatbelt. Now I can't tell if his front windshield is tinted or not. I know his side windows were tinted.
There's no way they see the seatbelt.
So it didn't look like it was a 0% tint. It looked like it was more like about a 20% where you kind of still see through it, but not. So I don't know how well they can see his seatbelt, but I say this: cops that have been doing this for a long time, they got to get an eye for it. You know what I mean? That's if they train to look at it as long enough, you're gonna see if it's not limo tint. All right, now I say this, bro. It was gone too far, like you said. It was way too far. It wasn't no time where nobody on the police force were trying to de-escalate the situation. I don't, but also like I don't know who taught Tyreek or lack of not teaching about. Hey, as a black man in America, you get pulled over the cops, bro. You don't make no sudden movements. You know what I mean? Like you don't make no sudden movements, man. You roll down the windows, and you probably sometimes you might want to roll down all four. You know what I mean? And because you want to make this situation as quick as possible.
Right.
Like, hey, here's everything you need. You ain't trying to stick around too long, whatever. Now, especially where you live at, it's a lot of African American celebrities in, you know what I mean, in Atlanta. All right. Most of them is always with 10. Why? Because they know the crime rate in those areas. They look for, celebrity got that. Oh, that's his tag number. Hey, I'm gonna make sure. Hey, we know what to look for. You know what I mean? Like we know how to find you. We need to go. You know what I mean? We know who we need to carjack. All the type of stuff. So he's looking at. I'm outside the stadium with with windows rolled. You don't want to bring too much attention because everybody already riding by with a camera.
Yeah, they knew who he was. The people rolled by, they were like, that's Tyreek Hill.
Yep, exactly.
The police. So
exactly.
They knew who he was. I mean, that's true. Like you said, yeah. I mean, you definitely want the situation to go smooth as possible. So,
yep.
Like you said, he should have probably just rolled down the windows, paid it, seen what they wanted, paid the ticket, and went along his way. But like I say, when he rolled that window back up on him, it went left from there at that point in time.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro,
and that's not the type of situation you want to put yourself in, like you said, as a black man at all. With officers, but and like his teammate was saying, 98% of them are decent. They might be decent people or good people, but it's always one bad apple, in everything that you do. So. And it was 5, 6 of them there. So, of course, it's more likely going to be one, probability wise. So, like I said, you definitely want to get yourself out of those situations and go on and do what you need to do. So, yeah, it just went left. It went left. It could have been handled better. It could have been handled better on both parts.
Yep.
I say that, but I'm glad there were no incidents. At that point in time.
I'm glad nobody got injured.
Right.
I mean, Mark, I had multiple encounters with being pulled over by the police, man. I don't know if I ever told. I'm pretty sure I did, bro. I'm pretty sure I did. Ever tell you about the incident that happened to me in Texas about getting pulled over when I was moving from the East Coast to California? Did I ever tell you I got pulled over in Texas and what happened?
I can't remember.
Look, all right. I ain't gonna make it a long story, bro. I got pulled over in Texas. Because you remember I was in the military. I was doing a cross country move when I left Florida to move to California, but I stayed in Alabama for about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, whatever. And then left I'm talking about, man. At that point, I was pushing a little bit. I was actually pushing a little bit too much, man, because I had stopping point. I don't like to drive. When I was doing cross country, I said I want to get from here to California in 3 days. The hardest thing is doggone Texas to get through.
So long.
It's so long, bro. It's almost a day of drive right there, just alone. And I was probably maybe about 2.5, 3 hours. I'm not gonna even say the city, but it was in Texas. It was about 2 to 3 hours outside of Arizona. And once you pass, get that far on that side of Texas, on the west side of Texas, the speed limit on an interstate is not 70. That thing is 80, bro. That's how fast, they up the speed limit on the highway. Now, when I was driving, I was 80 miles per hour. And this is at night, bro. So I was already getting to a point where I was about to stop and be done for the day. But I already had a pre-planned stop. I already booked the hotel to spend the night at, whatever. And literally, the speed limit went from 80 to 60. I didn't know, bro. Because I was like, man, already a long day of driving, bro. The speed limit went from 80 to 60 because we're going through this small town. So when I hit that little small town, got pulled over. Cop pulled over. I rolled down the windows. Kids in the back sleep. They was all, you know what I mean? They was all young. You know what I mean? It's still in the baby seat, bro. Rolled down the windows. Everybody was asleep. Cop said, "Why you speeding through my town like this?" I said, I was driving 80. I wasn't even driving. He said the speed limit is 60. I said, I've been on the highway for forever and it's 80. He said, "Oh, it dropped down to 60. Now why you speeding through my town?" I said, "I apologize." I said, "Man, I'm doing a cross-country move in the military, whatever." He said, "Oh, you want those good N-words." I ain't gonna say what the N-word is, but it ain't nice guy. I say that. He said, "Oh, you want them good N-word." That right there could have provoked me.
And he was a white guy?
Yeah.
No, I don't think you ever told me that.
Bro, and in my 20s, I'll be ready to snap. Now, I would have been in a bad situation, locked up in a small town. And I don't know how that was going to go right there. But he said, "Oh, you want them get N-words." Dead serious.
Wow. That's crazy, bro.
And I got another story like this for you, bro. And I know for a fact, I ain't never tell you this. This happened in high school. You remember I used to drive to Mississippi sometime because I had some family members live in Gulfport. And I always say, when we go to the casino, I say, "Hey, I got family off this highway, off this exit." One time I got off the exit. I know I get to my folks' house. It was like the second time the first and second time out there, I got my license at 16. Went down to see my cousin down in Gulfport, Mississippi. Got off the exit like I normally do, like my parents normally do, how we go drive down there. Got off the exit, made a left. Bruh, got pulled over by the cops. Cop told me, said, "Why are you taking this road?" I said, "I'm going to my family house, my family member's house. They live about 2 miles from here." He said, "Ain't no black folks allowed to drive on this road."
Allowed to drive on the road?
On this road.
Oh, man.
So I'm giving you 2 different incidents that happened to me personally. So
yeah, it happens so much.
It happens so much, but people think it don't happen.
Man,
that's outside African American race. And I'm giving you, they say, "You sure you to provoke them?" I said, "I don't even want to have this conversation no more."
Yeah, I don't. I mean, but yeah, people, it's hard to understand when you don't open your mind to see somebody else's situation.
Yep.
It's basically just ignorance at the point in time because a wise man knows that he can listen to anyone's story and you know what I'm saying, and see where they're coming from and understand. But some people just, I mean,
Yep.
some people don't have discernment, man. They don't have knowledge. You know, they might have book sense, but not street sense. They might have street sense, but not book sense. You know, so it's a certain type of knowledge.
Yep.
Like my mom used to always say, and still says to this day. And I used to think it was so cliche, but it's true. Common sense is just not common.
It's not coming, bro. It's not coming. Nope.
A lot of people just don't have it. You know,
Nope.
as sad as it is. But yeah, like I said, that stuff happens all the time, man. I mean, along in the community. So I mean,
And I purposely didn't
million
tell.
people have million stories.
I purposely didn't tell nobody about that Mississippi story. I most definitely didn't tell my dad for two reasons. Because I knew how he was going to react. Second reason was he wasn't going to allow me to drive back down to, you know what I mean, Mississippi to go see my, you know what I mean? And I'm like, my parents never got pulled over when we came down this road. You know what I mean? And I didn't tell I ain't tell nobody about that. I think I didn't tell my dad about 10 years ago, bro.
Yeah, I bet he couldn't believe it.
He can't believe he was like, what? You know what I mean? And then where we from, you know, we grew up in an era where we didn't have to worry about too much, like our parents, we didn't say what we was going all the time to our parents, but we knew that as long as you be safe and come back home, you straight. You get what I'm saying? And what was the main rule? What was one of the reasons why, hey, watch driving through Daphne and Fairhope? Why? They had speed traps. And they have no black cops on the force.
Definitely not back then when we were coming up. It's certain spots we didn't go, and you don't drive, you don't go. Definitely not after hours. You know, you don't get caught in certain spots. Everybody just knows those spots. So, yeah.
So
man.
I mean, so we learned this. I mean, we learned this in doggone middle school and high school, bro. We learned this early. If you have an interaction with the cops, get that shit over with. Get it, like, make that thing quick as fast. Whatever they ask for, provide it for them and leave. If you don't have, give an explanation. Don't show no, because hey, bro, you might not make it back, man. And this before the body cams. This before the body cams.
It's crazy as it is, but yeah, that's just how we were raised and how we were trained. You know how to deal with those situations. But like you said, I mean, I don't know who's taught Tyreek, you know, Hill how to handle those situations. But I'm sure he's definitely learned at this point in time. He's from South Georgia, so I definitely don't know how he missed that training. But I mean, a lot of people do, you know. So you know, I'm definitely not blaming him at all. But you know, you definitely have to know how to handle the situation. And like you said, his teammate Calais Campbell was the one who pulled up and was trying to de-escalate the situation. So they were interviewing him. He wasn't, and they were interviewing him, asking him the questions on First Take, and he was just giving, you know, his take on it. And they were asking him, you know, like, what do you tell young people in that situation? And he was just saying how his father raised him, what his father told him to do in those situations, what to say, what not to say. So, you know what I'm saying? You're just trained that way coming up. You know, so you know, you just help everybody gets that knowledge, you know, moving forward. You know,
hey, I'm gonna tell you something else. I know some of the schools in North Carolina, you know, the driver's ed is a lot different than what we went through, but the driver's ed, they're teaching them what to do when they get pulled over. They go with simulation. When you get pulled over, this is what you do. Hand on your. They literally teaching that a part of driver's education now. I know it's not probably everywhere, but I know, like I say, in this area, North Carolina, they're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy you have to do that, but it's good though.
Yeah. Man, hey, bro.
And did you see him when he scored too?
Yeah. I don't know how this gonna pan out, man. Like Tyreek ain't gonna go out squeaky clean on this piece, but also the cop, he got more to lose than Tyreek got to lose.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Easily.
That's one thing that is true, because you as a cop, you also supposed to de-escalate situation as much as possible. I mean, one thing Tyreek did say, he said, "What if I want Tyreek Hill?" That cop didn't know you was Tyreek Hill. You know what I mean? Because we heard on that part that one cop say, "You know who that is, right? That's one of the Miami's, you know what I mean, Miami Dolphins superstars, the team on the team." So he didn't know who he was, but and I'm not gonna say you should know because he's driving a luxury car because that's Miami. You know what I'm saying? That's Miami. So Miami is like that. Miami, you can see them cars all over Miami. But I say this, he got some type of point though, because if it was farther away from the stadium and if it was at nighttime, it might could have got a lot worse.
Yeah, on the wrong street, on the wrong back street. Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's true, and you know he was threatening them with stuff that they didn't care about. That's how I know he didn't know who they were. He was like, "I'm gonna tow your car." He was like, "Hey, okay."
Yeah, I mean, what was okay? Like,
so, you know what I'm saying? But take your keys and tow your car. What that mean to you? That's like a dime. They're paying a dime.
Hey, Mark, I'm gonna tell you this, boy. I'm gonna tell you some that I think gonna happen. When you look at this situation and you look at the way players enter the stadium, how they drive and whatever, I mean, I don't know if them cops realize that you're on duty to provide traffic services for the stadium because they get crowded, blah, blah, blah. Who pays that bill?
Mm-hmm.
It's the Dolphins pay that bill.
And the thing about it, like you say, right, it's true. And even though, right, Tyreek Hill got pulled over, their lawyers were on the phone talking to the police chiefs that day.
It was probably the Miami Dolphins owner because the owner and the mayor, they are in cahoots.
You see, he was on administrative leave like the day after.
It was before the game ended. They say he on administrative leave.
Yeah. See, and this comes with having the right people on your side, and which Tyreek does. You're not going to pull over Tyreek Hill and put him through all that and watch the owners, the GMs, their lawyers, everybody going to jump on your neck now. So he's definitely paying for it. The whole police force, I bet you all of them are paying for it. Who were just in that vicinity at that point in time, who pulled them over, you know. All of them are paying for it.
I'm gonna say this, Mark, and this when you know, like just like you guys say you got a club establishment or a lounge or a bar or whatever, and you want to at nighttime want 2 cops or whatever. Same thing what we do for youth sports, AAU sports. We tell any host site that's hosting football games on Saturday, you got to have at least one sheriff on staff. Who you think that's coming out of somebody's pocket? They got to pay that dude per hour. Those clubs, those bars, they got to pay those cops per hour. That's not coming out the taxpayer dollars. That's coming out your dollars. So with all those additional police forces, you go to college games, professional games, they're paid for out of the tabs of that organization. That's you know what I mean? That's a thing that's happening. So now, I don't know, NFL don't have it like the NBA do. I know because there's a lot more players in the NFL, whatever, but you know it's in the NBA. I want to say probably like 95%, I'm not going to say 100, 95% of those NBA organizations, they have special interests. They're not hitting traffic like they normally would. You know what I mean? Like it's all those different things where they don't get stuck in traffic. They're not going to have to deal with those type of situations. I think even Madison Square Garden, they have a separate street that's only dedicated for the players and like higher management, all that type of stuff. I can see right now, Miami Dolphins, they're going to have to get some type of interest to separate just for the players. And I guarantee it ain't going to be no police force that's on that. That's probably going to be they're going to hire some additional private security people. Now we're going to hire our own people for this.
Yeah, and that's why they have their own security who are really like agents, and you know what I'm saying, they have higher up credentials than a traffic cop. So and that's probably why they got those traffic cops got overrode so fast. You know what I'm saying, because those people have a longer reach. And they can reach, like you said, the mayor. They can reach people like that very quickly. To get you on administrative leave. So
yeah.
man.
So
I hope, like I said, I hope it was definitely a learning lesson for everybody. Tyreek Hill, he scored a touchdown, and Jalen Waddle, they act like they put him in cuffs. So
man.
but he was shook up. They said he was shook up in the locker room
Oh, yeah.
afterwards. He just sat in his locker for a minute and a while, and he said he wasn't playing at first, but I guess he calmed down, and just came to a sense.
I mean, if he didn't play, if he got hurt doing that, or if he got taken to jail, bro, I'm going ahead and tell you right now, they would have flipped that city upside down.
Man, if he would have got hurt, the way they were pulling his arm, if he would have got hurt,
they would have flipped that city upside down.
Man, what? They would have, man, I don't know. They probably would have burned their police station down, man. the fans, what I'm saying? Definitely just the
fans. Yep. But hey, man, let's switch gears, man, to the doggone New York Giants. Bruh. So I don't know if you've seen this video. It got music in it, so I'm not going to play it on this platform because I don't want to deal with the copyright stuff for us. But after the Giants lost, it's like a bit. They had to walk back to the bus, and it's outdoors, wherever, and it's out like in a parking lot, barricaded off for the players to get to their buses after the game. But the spectators can be on the other side of the barricade. As this man is walking out, boy, they is straight booing him, saying, "You are trash." They was calling him Danny Pennies. Like it was bad, bro. It was bad. I'm gonna say this. Daniel Jones, we've been knew he was what somehow heard that doggone clip coming from when they was doing Hard Knocks. The GM believed in him, didn't want to play Saquon Barkley. The owner said, "Hey, Saquon Barkley, go to Philly. I ain't gonna get no sleep." Well, he probably ain't slept since it happened. Probably got bags on his eyes. But the fans necessarily shouldn't be booing that. Well, I mean, I understand the booing the Dan Jones. They should be going after the GM head, bro. You got video evidence that they didn't believe us. They didn't want to pay Saquon Barkley. They believe highly of Daniel Jones. So, man, tell me what you think about this, bro.
Yeah, I mean, they paid, like you said, they paid Daniel Jones all the money in the world. I mean, I think Daniel Jones is not as terrible as he's seen. Even though he went 22 or 42, 186 yards, 2 interceptions. Those are terrible stats. I know. I don't think he's terrible as he seems, and I mean it's the organization too as well. Just like we just talked about on Hard Knocks, they haven't put the right pieces around him to win, and you see what they did. Why would you trade Saquon? Who in their right mind out of the other 31 teams would trade Saquon Barkley? And then they said, what did they say on there? They said, what was the word? I know you remember. Didn't they say that? Well, let's just see who pays them that much. Like nobody's not gonna pay him that much.
Yep.
And you see what he did in Brazil the first game. So Daniel Jones. I mean, he's definitely not worth what they gave him, though. At the end of the day, no, he's definitely not that. So I mean, like they saying, a lot of the boos too. They were booing him, yes, of course, but they're booing the organization for what they've done. You know what I'm saying? Right. And the position they put him in, the players that they've lost. So, you know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to go out there and watch their team do that a year after year after year. So, yeah, man.
Do you think the GM is on the hot seat? Do you think the owner going to get rid of GM after this year?
Yeah, he better. He better at this point in time.
Because he got to fall on that sword. All the video evidence, you got to. You know how like on there trying to find somebody to be the scapegoat, throw him under the bus. You ain't got. Hey, you got to be. Everybody's seen it. If he would have said, "Hey, that's Saquon Barkley. No way we should be letting him go." I think the owner would say, "Okay, hey, I agree with you. But he told me, he said, I'm following your lead. But if he end up in Philly, I'm gonna have problems sleep. I don't think it was I think he said it nicely because he knew cameras was in the building. But he really want to say, hey, if he go to Philly, your ass, we better have a winning season. Your ass gone. That's what he wanted to really say to
him. yeah, he's out of there. I mean, if they don't fire the GM, and one thing I know with New Yorkers, they do not play. They are on his neck, his head, all of that right now at this point in time. So if they're booing, man, I could just imagine what's going on, what they're saying right now at this point in time. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely the GM's fault because they put those people in those positions. And sometimes that's what messes the team up because Brian Dable is a good coach. He's a good head coach. But what can you do when you're not given the right pieces to win?
So do you think they'll just get rid of the GM and leave the head coach, or they get a new GM? Hey, we're gonna try to build pieces around what your format is. Give you, but he's on. Let me say this: if you think you say that he's gonna be fine, but how much longer you give him if they give him a new GM? You give him about a year or two.
The head coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dave. Like I said, Dave was a good head coach, and I think everybody knows that. But you just have to give the man. You have to put him in the position to win. Help. Like I say, help me, help you.
Yep.
At the end of the day. So I mean, give him 2-3 years. Let's see what he does.
Okay, I get you. I get under a new GM.
Under a new GM, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Got
to be.
You got to be, bro. You can't even trust this dude draft picks or trades or anything. Nah, bro. Nah, he out of there, man.
Like I don't want that GM, and he can't be in my war room on draft day. If that's your mindset to trade Saquon Barkley and give Daniel Jones a big contract, like I don't even want to see who he trying to pick off the list. He drafted 6 rounders in the second round. First round. No.
Hey. All right, man. Hey, bro. So last night, Monday night game, we had the Jets go lose to the 49ers without Christian McCaffrey, and they lost bad. It's not just one player fault. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know what I mean? I jump down doggone Aaron Rodgers' neck every now and then, but it's not all his fault. Everybody like to blame the quarterback on every loss. That ain't fair. I mean, they was not good all across the board. You know what I mean? Turnovers. Defense can stop the zone run. I mean, wide receivers dropping passes, running backs fumbling. I mean, bro, the blame was to go around. You know what I'm saying? Like the blame was to go around. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers did have some miscues, but it was they couldn't stop the zone run. To be real with you, and if the Jets can beat them without CMC, which Jordan, I mean, the backup to CMC, I mean, but I'm gonna tell you something, Mark. That was more the offensive line than him, and I'm gonna tell you why I say that. And it's the reason why I say the zone run, because everything he was running was zone run because he was one cut and go. He wasn't making no moves. It wasn't like he had to make a lot of moves or whatever. He was hitting it, cutting across that he sees daylight, hit that hole, and he was out of there, bro.
Man,
so that's a defensive line problem right there.
Jordan Mason was running the ball I don't think they were prepared for him because they were prepared for. Well, I mean, I think they knew Christian McCaffrey wasn't playing, by that time.
Yeah.
But they didn't prepare. Their mind wasn't prepared for a bruising back is what they got in Jordan Mason. And he was running, pounding, running people over, running through the hole, and lowering his shoulder. You don't get that when you play CMC.
But look how big that hole was when he was hitting it.
Right. Exactly.
So the linebackers not coming over top, and the defensive line ain't slowing it down. You know what I mean? Like they were literally the doggone offensive line was literally taking 2 steps and sealing off and creating a hole. I mean, that's a D line. You let the D line don't even supposed to let the doggone offensive line let them block them like that.
Yeah, they were just getting blowed off the ball, like I said.
They were getting killed off the ball
by the power, and
yeah.
In the run play. So the late run, I mean, it was just too much for them.
Yeah,
like I say, I don't think they game plan for Jordan Mason.
Yeah, they
and I don't know if you could have it, like we talk about not having film on people before you play them. It seemed like one of those moments. I mean, even though I'm definitely not making excuses, because there's no way as a defense and just the mentality of a defensive player, you're not gonna let anybody line up and run straight down your throat.
Yeah,
that's one thing. Front seven, as a front seven, what I'm saying, defensive line and linebackers, what I'm saying, that's your main duty, that's your main job, that's the thing that's in your head. What I'm saying, you feel like you lost the game if they run down your throat. Even if you win the game and they get a 200 yards, 150 yards rushing on you, that's a loss to a defensive coordinator.
Mark, I'm gonna tell you how bad I know it was the defensive line. Them they had 4 wide receivers out, twins on each side, and a tight end go out for a pass play. Daniel Jones went through his first read, second read, third read, fourth read, fifth read, went right back to his first read. That's the defensive line problem.
Purdy.
That man was drinking Starbucks back there.
Purdy did.
Starbucks back there, bro.
Yeah, he was. He definitely was. He had time to pass, to go through his motions and his reads and check downs, and come all the way back. Yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah, I mean, bro, that's a defensive line problem. That means you create no pressure. I mean, damn, you can't hit a swim move, bro. You can't. Get these hands off of him, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. So
I didn't see. I mean, one thing too. I didn't see blitzes dialed up against Purdy too. At the same time, they weren't blitzing him. So I mean, why would you sit back there and just let him throw the ball? That's one thing I'll never understand at all. And one thing I love about, and I know this is college. One thing I loved about, I'm an Alabama fan. One thing I loved about South Florida defensive coordinator. And I love defense. He was blitzing. He switched it up. The blitzing he was doing, he was bringing from all. It was beautiful. As a defensive minded player, I loved it. Yep. I didn't love it happening to my team, but I love his mindset, what he was doing. At that point in time.
I mean that score. I know the score got out of hand at the end. South Florida gonna be a problem.
Yeah, they really are.
When I say a problem, meaning like they're gonna cause havoc whoever they play, because they show that they just can last 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and don't get me wrong, now Alabama,
they were causing a lot of mistakes. A lot of penalties.
A lot of penalties by the same. Like the same tackle, number 75, Wormby. Pritchard, number 57, an offensive lineman. He was not even healthy. And he plays the other side of the line. But when your mentality is that football mind kicks in, he went to the coaches mad, pissed off, and said, "Put me in the game." He didn't like what was happening. They moved him to right tackle on the other side. The first play they ran behind him. 7 plays that they ran, it amounted for 42% of their offense. 42% of their offense from 7 plays.
Yep.
And that's what happened. That's how the score went from a 5-point lead to 42-16 in the 4th quarter. That's exactly what happened. With the right people, that's what can happen. So yeah, man. Like I said, but definitely being a defensive minded player, and what South Florida's defensive coach was doing was a beautiful thing to watch, and he'll definitely be a head coach one day.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah. It was a great matchup, man. It was a great matchup, bro. I know we got off topic, but that was a great matchup, man. But go back to the Jets defense, bro. It was, I mean, as the whole, bro, it was. They didn't look as one. They didn't look as like, hey, we playing as a team. You can call it rusty. I mean, Obviously, the 49 did something that you guys didn't do. I know 49ers went farther in the season than everybody else. You know what I mean? That they're playing right now besides the Chiefs. So they was, you know what I mean?
But the Jets defense is what they hang their
They're
hat
supposed
on.
to hang the hat on,
Right.
exactly.
Right. So
Like it's supposed to be
they just
already
don't
well
do it.
established. And
Mhm.
they was getting beat off the ball, man. They was getting beat off the ball. And you already know as a defensive player, especially a lineman, they can't get beat off the ball. I mean, you go one of the drills that defensive line go to is quick hand. Get your hands on them faster than they get their hands on you.
Mhm.
Like,
Mhm.
come on, bro. Like,
It backfired. It was backfired.
I
But I
mean, another
mean,
drill is shed the blocker.
mm-mm.
So this man is drinking cappuccino from Starbucks, going through all his read and go back to the first read, and y'all ain't got there yet.
Yeah, man. It definitely it was no pressure on Purdy all night. Yeah, he definitely was back there in the reclining chair throwing the ball.
Boy, he was back there chilling, bro. God. Now you just what really you did was you just gave a Super Bowl runner-up team confidence. Gave them a lot of confidence right now, which you don't even supposed to give them confidence this early in the season. That's the first piece. Then also, you might have just pissed off the 49ers manager, like, damn, we got to pay Purdy. We got to, hey, like, we got to, hey, that boy he was drilling him last night because y'all don't play good defense. So you made him look, I ain't going to say better than what he is because he's a good quarterback. But now you giving him confidence, bro. It's hard to be confident, bro. It's hard to be confident.
Yeah, and I don't know what I don't know what they were thinking because like I told you, the Ravens y'all gave everybody the game plan of how to beat Purdy last year.
Yep.
So they did none of that. They just did none of that at all. They did no pressuring, no blitzing at that point in time. So I mean, yeah, they played to his strength, which is dumb. They played to Purdy's strength and just let him sit back there and throw the ball. Which, I mean, most quarterbacks are going to be good at if you just let them sit back there and throw the ball.
Yeah, like it's 707.
Right.
Hey,
right.
man, let's switch over to another quarterback, man. That all the fans is calling it for his head, man, which is Bryce Young from the Carolina Panthers. Bryce, bro. They is on your head right now, man. Fans calling him the worst quarterback they ever seen. I mean, like I said, I ain't gonna say. Me and you had a discussion about this about some months ago when we was talking about the Panthers, like how fair they is. They were selling tickets for $5. People the fan don't even want to support them, blah blah blah. And Bryce is not in the right system, man. He's not in the right coaching staff, and he ain't in the right system. And what did I always say about being a number 1, number 2, number 3 draft pick? You going to a bad team.
Which is like always.
Yeah, you're going to a bad team and a bad situation, and they're expecting you to turn that team around wholeheartedly the first year you come in. You don't have time to develop. They expect you already to be developed, be ready, because you coming in so high in the draft pick. Now, with that being said, what makes a good coach? What make a bad coach, Mark? And in my opinion, what makes a good coach is you're calling plays and scheming your offense for what you have and not what you wish you had. A bad coach is, hey, y'all gonna have to adopt to my system. So tell me if I'm wrong, bro.
Right. No, that's right. Yeah, a coach definitely plays to the strengths of his team and his players, and what they can do. So, which is what most coaches do, what brilliant coaches do.
Yep.
And those are usually the ones who are successful. So yeah, I mean that's definitely true. I mean, I don't know what they had going on, with him and was Canales, the head coach, the new head coach. I guess that I don't know, man. I don't know. It was bad. It was bad. I don't know if they have the right game plan yet together at this point in time. to even try to win. But here he goes, and here goes Bryce in another situation again, and another with another coach, another head coaching staff.
Mhm.
Which is sometimes it's tough to play in back to back to back over
Yep.
and over again. But
Yep. Yep.
we're gonna see, man, how this goes.
So I say this, man. The one coach that you really, so I say this: the one coach that people should tailor is Bill Belichick. And you know how people always say the Patriot way, Patriot way, Patriot way. You notice outside of Randy Moss, he never had a flashy player. He's always driven off defense. Like, you'll see the little social media little kind of like funny takes on like he go pick the slowest wide receivers or blah blah blah, whatever. He ain't looking for somebody that's run a 4-2 off the rip. That he wants somebody that fits his system. He draft that. You know what I mean? He know where his system is, so he not just going to get. I want top. You notice he don't really get top rated pay. They used to when under Belichick, they used to like trade their first round pick all the time, like because he's like, I'm not really. I want people that I know is going to fit my system. Not, hey, I want this. You know what I mean? Like when I'm saying a good coach, he know how to pick his system, and he know how to pick the players because he know what the system is required. So remember, Ocho Cinco went to the Patriots, and they was like, bro, Ocho don't even, bro, who is this dude, man? What? And Ocho went on nightcap and said why he was struck. He said that Patriot is for real. He said the way I've been playing my whole career, I'm playing outside in, where they look for the outside receivers first, then they work their way in. If you look at what the Bill Belichick scheme was, they play inside out. They had two tight ends. Remember, they had Gronk, they had Hernandez, they had slot receivers like Edelman. They had always before they even go out.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't fit that scheme.
Yeah, that's why Wes Welker caught all the passes. Just about. Yeah, but I mean, it definitely was the Belichick way. I mean, and like you said, he had, but he turned those people into players, and they were all right in this system. Even when he went and got the Randy Mosses and the Chad Ochocinco.
Yeah.
You did see them being flashy when they played with the Patriots. You did see them walking around being loud and belligerent. I mean, just loud, not belligerent, but just loud, and trying to make a scene or anything about not catching the ball. That wasn't the way. And I know he talked to them before they even got there, got in the system. Yeah. So it was the Bill Belichick way. So I mean, it worked. It's definitely all about coaching, man. So like I said, if Bryce Young is in the system again to try to figure it out. I mean,
I mean, it's a complete system because think about where we came from. I mean, you came from Alabama, bro. You came from, I'd say, the best college coaching has ever been. You know what I mean? He's seen how he coached, and he's seen all the weapons that they had around him. He had weapons all around him. Who is the weapons right now in the Panthers? Like
once again, they haven't put the right pieces around him to win at this point in time.
I mean, I don't know what scheme really worked for Bryce, but you almost got to divert to what his best moments was, and it was with Alabama. But then you don't have the weapons Alabama did.
Right, but I mean, anything at the end of the day, like you say, you can still have dump play, dump passes. 5-yard routes, 10-yard routes, 7-yard routes. You can still have those. You just have to create the system for. I mean, I know that's what now they're saying that was his plan for Bryce. He wanted him to do that, just drop back and get rid of the ball. But it looks like the Lions still wasn't having the best game. He got sacked 4 times, so it's a lot still to work on, man. As of right now.
Remind me correctly, Mark. When Bryce was there, he was on the Sark, right? Sarkisian.
At Alabama.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
What's Sarkisian like to do?
Shit, definitely a quick pass. Throw the ball. He'll throw it down the field.
And a lot of misdirection, though, right?
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
motions, jet sweeps,
Mm-hmm.
get them. Basically, you want your defense to overreact to something that they already seen before, but they're not going back to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bunch set RPOs. That's definitely Sarkisian.
So that's what he need to be in some system like that. That's that West Coast offense, that Kyle Shanahan offense, that you know what I mean? Like that Daniels offense. Like that's the offense he needs. He's not an offense like Peyton Manning used to run or Tom Brady used to run. That's not his offense.
Right. He's definitely not that. So I mean, like you said, the coach just has to play to his strengths. So he'll figure it out. I mean, the smart coaches do. They know how to adjust and they know what to do. So we'll see.
I mean, he either gonna get smart or he gonna get gone. And that's the hard piece of it. And unfortunately with Bryce, he's on his second year right now. If he don't turn around by his third year, I mean, will another team now you're really gonna be fighting an uphill battle because now you ain't gonna get those paydays. What other team gonna really want you? I mean, as a quarterback, you'll get picked up somewhere, but you're gonna end up as a backup. Like, and personally, I mean, you're better than that. I know you're better than that. Mm-hmm. You just landed in the wrong spot, man.
Right.
You just landed in the wrong spot.
Definitely up there, $5 tickets. Up there. You're definitely in the wrong spot. You don't want to be there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go to another quarterback that's having major issues in the NFL that I think is in the wrong system. His name is Watson, and he got allegations on. So we're gonna spend a little time on him. We'll talk about the football aspect of it, then we'll go to the lawsuit piece of it. He looked horrible. He looked horrible. Like he is running a West Coast offense that is built on play actions and stuff like that. That ain't what he good at. That's why. Remember last year when they went and got Flacco off the couch? What Flacco was doing with the Baltimore Ravens when he would a lot of play action. You know what I mean? They heavy run, play action to this, blah blah blah. Deshaun Watson, like he ain't never been in that system a day in his life, man.
He did. He looked like a deer in headlights too.
Yep.
He looked a little like he was moving a little slower. I don't know if he was trying to figure it out or if he just hasn't caught a grasp of the pace of the game because he really hadn't played a lot in the last 2 years. Mm-hmm. So,
really 3 years actually.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
Right.
He was suspended for that 1 year. Then he was, he was injured for multiple years. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So, man, I don't know, man. And like we were talking about, they said they might want to look at Jameson.
I say that.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's a little too early. We'll see. I say,
will you give it about week 3?
Yeah.
If it don't get better, get worse. You ain't got no choice, man. I mean, and to be real with you, not no knocking like against James, because I think James is a good quarterback, man. To be honest with you, he bounced around a lot. I think so. James fell in a category that what I was talking about with Bryce. I hope he don't fall into.
Backup quarterback.
Yes, and what everybody right now, if you bring up Jameis Winston, they always go back to him throwing all those interceptions with Tampa Bay. Even though he threw for 5,000 yards, he threw all them interceptions. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He had the laser eye surgery, whatever. I don't know how that wasn't corrected at Florida State. That's unbelievable to me. That should have been corrected at Florida State. Based upon the story you used to tell me when you know what I mean, when you was at UAB and you were like, man, we had the best medical people, bro. You got a problem, they take care of. I don't know how he didn't get taken care of at Florida State, a big freaking school, you know what I mean? And then now that make you mad because they beat us in the doggone championship game. This dude was blind. Like, come on, man.
he was squinting.
Yeah, he was squinting, man.
Yeah.
So I mean, so we got evidence that his eyes was bad. I don't know how he went so long without being corrected. But to say all that, I hope Bryce don't end up in that situation. But Deshaun Watson, everybody like to divert back to his Clemson days, man. It's been so long ago since Clemson, bro. Like NFL is like, I mean, what have you done for me lately? And I think the Browns just stuck with him because they gave him that big salary based upon what he was doing with the Texas and Clemson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and that's true. I mean, because he was a dog now at Houston, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, he was still balling. He just hasn't shown that since then. And like we said, I mean, it's been almost a 3-year hiatus for real.
Yep.
At this point in time. So I mean, maybe he'll come out of it, but I know people not going to keep giving him chances.
No. He I'm be honest with you, Mark, and I don't wish this on no player. I hope I want all players to, when they're done with football, I want to be on their terms. It don't always happen that way, but I want to be on their terms. But based upon his play, and then based upon what we're about to talk about right now with this another lawsuit, bro, you already know the NFL to blackball somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you definitely won't get another shot after this at this point in time, because you know they were already speaking bad about the Browns for giving him all their money in the midst of all that, which I didn't really think was a bad idea, because I know who he is and his play. So I mean, they're just like me. You know, we were just waiting to see that dynamic Deshaun again. So I mean, but if it doesn't come up, if he doesn't show it, then and they have to eventually let him go. Yeah, he definitely might not play for. You know,
I mean, you're right. Like they was upset. When I say they, I'm talking about the NFL owners. They was upset about the Browns doing this in the midst of what he was dealing with, the allegations and the lawsuits, and him had to pay for settlements and all this type of stuff. But also, that ain't the main reason they was mad. They was mad because he reset the whole QB market. Now
he did it.
Everything's been skyrocketed.
He did that. He definitely did that. Yeah. So I mean, hey. I mean, I hope, like you say, I hope he does show the old Deshaun Watson, figure it out, you know, pulls deep within himself, and you know, and displays that talent that we know he has, and that he has, you know, shown in the past. So hopefully he'll come around. But I mean, he's definitely fighting the clock.
Fighting the bad, man. Fighting the bad, bro. He fighting the bad, man. And I don't know. I say this. I don't think the Browns gonna be as patient with him this year. Because they already seeing a light on the tunnel. I mean, on the other side of the tunnel. Meaning,
because this is year 3.
They know right now what. Even though he came at the tail end of the season last year, they know that they got Jameis Winston, and they know right now Joe Flacco is not signing nobody. We could go get him right now, and we'll be a playoff team.
Or they can get that if they wanted to.
Nah, he stuck with y'all, bro. Y'all already gave him that money. They ain't gonna take. Hey, you know the only thing with Prescott is he never had any drama.
Yes, he never had no off the field drama. Don't you want that? Don't you want that? Now that's good, doesn't it? Come on, get him. Don't pay for him now.
I put it like this: if they trade for him, which I doubt they'll do that, but if they trade for Prescott, you might well go ahead right now, not penciled in, permanent mark in that the Ravens going to Super Bowl, because I love his playoff performance. His playoff performance, we'll have about 5 interceptions on him. We take him to the house.
Man,
I love his playoff performance. We want playoff performance, Prescott.
Say he coming with prisons. for the defense every time.
He coming with a in-depth resume of what he does in the playoffs.
It's terrible. It's horrible.
And I'll be real with you. The way the AFC North is, and it's built on defense in the AFC North, he ain't ready for that, bro. He ain't ready for that.
How do you think that would be in the AFC?
Depending on which conference. I mean, which
North.
The AFC North, he want to do good, man. You see how Burrows look, right?
What you mean?
Oh, he didn't look that good this past year. We're gonna talk about it. He didn't look good. I mean, I give Burrows a good quarterback out, but now he got injured. I ain't gonna say injured. He got nicked up. I'm like, all right, now, is he injured bound again? Like, the AFC North play defense, and who those teams again? It's the doggone Ravens. It's the Steelers. It's the Browns. It's the doggone Bengals. Who else I'm leaving off? I'm leaving off somebody. The Bills. Yeah, Bills. Yeah, so everybody's built on defense in the AFC North. And also, remember this. This is a big factor. Because what's the big knock against the Miami Dolphins when they come down to October, November time frame?
We can't play in that cold weather.
Where Mr. Prescott playing most of his games at? In a dome.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mark, hey, them hits in the cold don't feel good.
Man. Cold, hot, snow, rain. Dak is going Dak.
Hey, he got to deal with too much weather elements, man. You know what I mean? Like that don't work out too well for you, bro. That don't work out. Hey, I mean, look at when Peyton Manning first year with the Broncos. You know what I mean? He did decent, but it took him a little while to get used to that weather. Even though was Indianapolis, they was playing in some cold weather environments, but most of the time they was in a dome, man.
Yeah, Denver's a different monster.
And different when we're different is a different altitude and cold weather.
That's why they call it mile high.
Yeah.
Yeah. You definitely have to adjust. Even when we play, you
know what I mean? All that type of stuff, bro.
Yeah, you got to adjust to it.
Yep. Like I remember back in the day when it was 90s. Yeah, it was like mid 90s or whatever. Watching Green Bay Packers play, you know how cold and they did. I think they probably between them and Buffalo did with the worst weathers in NFL history. And I remember they did an interview with Brett Favre. Like, I think it was like one of the coldest games at that time. And they was like, how you adjust to this? You know what that dude said, man? He said the whole week going up to that game, he went outside for an hour naked to get used to the cold.
Mm-hmm.
He said he was in the backyard, literally naked, so he could just get used to how cold it's going to be at his worst environment. You know what I mean? At his worst time. That's how you got to do. And if you really think about it, you got to get acclimated to that cold weather. Mm-hmm. So that was the way he said he had to do it. He said, hey, you look at a lot of these cold weather teams like Baltimore, Buffalo, and all that type of stuff. You look at them in the games, they don't have no sleeves on. They've been practicing like that all week. You know what I mean? But then they be doing the games, they be putting like special oil on them to kind of close their pores and keep that heat in. But still, they practice with no shirt, no cold weather gear on. You got to get used to it. If you've been playing all your career in a dome, that's hard to get used to go to a conference like that.
Did you say you had to sleep under the snow before?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's a whole nother subject, boy. That's a whole nother. we had to build. We had these cold weather training, bro. We had to go and shovel up snow and build like a snow house almost. And to be real with you, once you get in, it sounds crazy, but it was actually warm. you had to like build it and like insulate yourself, but you're insulating yourself with the ice. Like, it was crazy, man. It was real crazy. And I tell you, it's an even worse story than that. We had like our field docs. We call them field docs, but they like Navy corpsmen. Like they with each team or whatever. And they had to teach them how to treat hypothermia. So how do you teach them like that? All right. They shovel up, they dig up a hole in the water off a iced up lake, and they made us jump in for a minute and pull us out. And we up there like, and that's how they treat you, learn how to treat hypothermia and how it feels to get hypothermia. I'm telling you, that was the coldest I've ever been in my life, bro. And I barely remember how cold it was. Like, that's how, like, you almost like black out.
Man, that's crazy. They basically almost give you hypothermia.
They give you hypothermia to you. This is how it feels. So, because some people don't know, if you out in the cold weather, you shivering, but you don't really know how cold you are until it's too late. You know what I mean? So they teach you how it feels to get hypothermia. Then they teach those medical field doctors how to deal with hypothermia, and they also jumped in too, bro.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Yep.
That's crazy. Tell you, I mean, you definitely have to adjust to that weather.
You got to adjust to it, man. So it really, now you know how to deal with it, man. And I'm telling you, I think that was about 3-4 weeks before we went to Afghanistan. And the reason I had to go through that cold weather training was because we was going through Afghanistan in the wintertime. Afghanistan altitude baseline was like 500 feet, high altitude, so the snow sticks in, and you're gonna deal with doggone snow. So the worst thing with cold weather is, and it's hard to get around it with athletes, and I mean football players playing the cold weather is like staying dry. They can't stay dry; they sweat. Right. You know what I'm saying? So really now that's why they wear them big jackets on, because they got little heaters in it to kind of dry them out, because that cold weather and sweat don't match.
Yeah, not at all.
That don't match. So Dak Prescott dealing with that late in the career, you got to go out there from the rip. You know what I mean? You almost got to go out there your first couple of years. Then go like somebody like say Lamar Jackson, it get cold in Kansas City. Say Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Burrows to go to a dome team.
Yeah, they have a field day.
They have a field day, bro.
Mm-hmm.
They have a field day, bro. They have a field day, man. But hey, man, let's go ahead and switch over to college football, bro. We're gonna do some recap. So some matchups that happened, man. We spoke on one with Alabama and South Florida. You know, we went over that, man. That was I know for you, the first 3 quarters was nerve-wracking. Then they broke loose on one, got that touchdown. It was kind of downhill from there. But like for me, man, I'm happy to see that from South Florida. I personally think they deserve that. I thought it was going to be like that when they had hired Charlie Strong that year. I was hoping high hopes for him. You know what I mean? Especially as a African American coach, man. So I was hoping that he was going to turn that program around. But for South Florida to look like they did against Alabama, one of the top 5 teams in college football, man, they surprised me. I say that. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
And like I say, South Florida definitely has a good program and a good coach. You know, their coach came from Tennessee, so he definitely knows what he's doing. And he's hired the right staff at it. Like we were speaking earlier about the defensive coordinator. So he has the right pieces in place to do good down there in South Florida. And they definitely look like they will do good. They looked good last year, you know. So yeah, definitely happy for them and proud of them. Lackluster offensive performance from us. Defense as well. Like we were speaking. I mean, how many times the quarterback almost had 100 rushing yards in the first half? Terrible. Like I said, we can't stop the option or the draw. I mean, you see what was coming on. I mean, you see what was happening. You know, until they put like a spy basically on on the quarterback.
Too much man coverage.
Right. I mean, It just you just running the same package. You're like a same base package. That's all they were running the whole time, and they had it picked out. South Florida was ready for the game plan, and like I said, you have to adjust, man. And it looked like we didn't do too much adjusting.
Yeah.
And running those same basic plays right up the hole, and they had all this stuff figured out, man. So
I mean, Mark, like, tell me if I'm wrong, man. Because when I was coaching, man, if I called a man coverage, and that was, bro, I'll be real with you, man. It might be in a whole game. If you catch me in man coverage, boy, you just caught me for that moment. I probably won't run man coverage but 5 times, but I would not run it if they got more than 3 wide receivers out. I would not put my defense in man coverage that way. If they run singles on each side, wide receivers on each side, I test the waters. I run man coverage, make sure he jam and knock him off his route. You know what I mean? Whatever. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm seeing, which is blowing me, because even with Colorado, and remember, you were talking on the phone about that, bro. How are you running man coverage, and you either don't have a spy, or you're not blitzing anybody to speed this up? Because you're making your DBs work harder than they need to be running man coverage. So they're covering for a dog on almost 10 seconds, man. Like, that don't make any sense. Like, I look at it, if you're a man coverage, you're relying on your defensive line to speed this up, to put that quarterback under pressure, and you're hoping that if you should be sending a blitzer, or you're sending a spy man to close down that gap to that quarterback, they cause a sack or get him out the backfield so you get that sack. Am I wrong or right on this?
No, I mean, that's definitely true. You definitely have to have some type of scheme going on to where you are planning. Your plan should be to get to the quarterback quick and in a fast-paced manner, because, like you said, you having a DB can't sit there and chase a wide receiver run back and forth across the field for forever.
Yeah, especially doing crossing routes. That's the most dangerous.
Exactly. So at that point in time, if you're not doing stunts, blitzing or anything, like you said, you are setting your DBs and your safeties up, because there's no way they're supposed to sit back there and just cover all day long. While y'all up there playing pity pat, nobody can get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And like we just said earlier, about quarterbacks just sitting back and having time to throw it. I mean, what situation is better for a quarterback? That's what you want to be in. It's terrible for a defense. So you have to put some type of pressure, apply some type of pressure on the quarterback, to make them get rid of the ball. Don't just have them sitting back there throwing the ball. And that's what a lot of programs, like we say, are doing. I mean, definitely that's what Colorado did last week before they lost to Nebraska, when the quarterback sat there and he ran a draw and scored. You know what I'm saying? The DB, everybody's back was turned to him. He was just looking at them running. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at these. They don't even know what's going on behind them. But just, it's not their fault. Like I said, you have to have a spy. Somebody has to have that quarterback. Definitely, if this is this is what he does. Yeah, this quarterback does this. So you're setting your team up for failure. I mean, you have to put, like I said, some type of pressure on the quarterback, and that's what was happening. Definitely, and a lot at this point in time. Watching Alabama, we definitely. We didn't have a lot of blitz going on. I mean, of course, we had 5-star recruits on the D-line and should be pressuring the quarterbacks, which they were. But at the same time, that's what you have linebackers for, and DBs too. You know what I'm saying? Send these people on blitz. You know what I'm saying? But once again, like USF defensive coordinator did, they switched it up. He ran so many different blitz packages. And what was I telling you as far as like how we'll go through a week in college, or when you learn so many packages, to play, and coaches only call 3 and 4 plays. It's like, but they prepare you to run 30, but they only call 3 and 4 of them. So it's like, use what you have. You know what I'm saying? I didn't teach you all this knowledge for no reason to just sit there and waste it. So, apply the pressure, put it in the game. And we wasn't doing that. Definitely Alabama wasn't doing that. I seen a lot of programs not doing it. Just, having like I said last week, I seen a lot of bad coaching. It was some this week too as well. Coaches definitely put players in the wrong predicaments also. So it's definitely not all on the players.
Yeah.
But I mean, what do you think about y'all? How do y'all play?
Man,
I see what you think. It's written all over your face and your shirt.
Auburn.
But I think y'all did the same thing as far as like covering the blitzing as well, not blitzing.
Yeah.
And just letting them have their way.
Yeah, but I say this, Mark, and I agree with you on that. I say this. Tell me if I'm wrong or right on this. If your defense is able to hold a team to 21 points in a game, all right, and it was like 14 points, but it got to 21 at the end of the game. If you're able to hold them to 21 points,
they did their job.
Got to do right and win that damn game, bro.
Yeah, they did their job. Now the Auburn defense did good. They did good. I just thought they should have did a little more. Definitely, like I said,
they did a little more.
But they definitely did
slack from turnovers from your wire. I mean, from your quarterback. Because think about this. What's the worst feeling? You just got off the field and y'all did a 4-and-out. They, you know what I mean? They punt the ball. Defense sitting down on the bench, catching their breath. Quarterback throw a pick. Oh, here we go with this shit. Now we got bad field position and we got to go. We ain't had but 2 seconds break. You know what I'm saying? Now you're dealing with this. So when I say, like, you able to hold them to 21 points with all those turnovers, your offense is the problem.
Oh, no, the offense definitely was the problem. It's hanging down. No, defense definitely was not the problem. I'm just defensive minded and speaking on the defense. The defense did good. They did good. You know what I'm saying? They definitely did good.
I mean, to be dealing with those many turnovers, bro.
4 turnovers.
They dealt with, I mean, he threw 4 interceptions, but that 4th interception at the end of the game, that shit, whatever. Like, you dealt with 3 interceptions and y'all got screwed over. You know what I mean? And it shouldn't even got to that. That's the reason I got this 5 Hugh Freeze, because he should have got put out the game doggone in halftime. That's the halftime adjustment, bro. Hey, bro. Pat him on the shoulder. Hey, man. It ain't looking too good out there for you, eh? All right, man. Hey, go ahead and sit this out. You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and start it.
Yeah, and that's what I told you. When he threw like the second interception or what happened, it was around second quarter or third quarter. I was like, oh yeah, all right. I was like, let's see what the backup do. I'm in my head. I'm knowing they're finna put the backup in. Let's see what the backup do.
Stuck him in now, bro. Kept him in now. Even on the last possession, he went out there threw another interception. That's when everybody was like, all right, you know what? I started seeing what's crazy within 10 minutes. Started seeing fan pages say, hey, they start changing from Auburn fan to Auburn fan parentheses, fire Hugh Freeze. Like, what the hell, bro? Like, change the quarterback, man. Dude, we cannot lose. Figure it out at practice, but change him to keep us in this game, to win this game, bro. To get like, I don't care if you win this game by 1 point. You already know in college football, you lose one game. Now, I mean, they got 12-game playoff, but previous years, you lose one game, you're done. You're done. Like, unless that one loss is against a Georgia, or you know what I mean, but you want everything else, or against an Alabama, but you want everything else, or you know what I mean, against a top 5 team. Okay, we you know what I mean, we can deal with that. You lose to a Cal or unranked team, bro. You done, bro. You done, man. So
Cal came to play too. They were running around. They were hitting hard.
They eating my words, man. You think about what I talked about 4 or 5 videos ago. What I said, man, boy, the West Coast, man, they ain't been playing defense in years. USC proved me wrong and Cal proved me wrong.
They sure did. Cal looked good. They surprised me. They were balling out there. They were flying around, hitting people. And it looked good. But I mean, they look good. And Auburn, like I say, Auburn's offense just looked so bland. It's like, where's your Where's your bunch sit? Where's your RPO? Well, I mean, Peyton Thorne is not an RPO quarterback, so
Yeah,
that's probably and just like we were just saying about Bryce Young not being like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning.
yeah,
Peyton Thorne is more like a Tom Brady or Peyton Manning. You
yeah,
know, which you really can't have.
yeah.
These days and age.
Not not
It's going
not
to
in
change.
not in the SEC. No,
Right, right.
no, 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 no. I mean, we. It's been proven. Like you could say, SEC is probably the closest thing, which they all compare. Say is probably the closest thing that you'll see to the NFL. Now
Mhm.
they'll throw blitz packages at you. They'll throw everything at you, man. Disguises, like you'll see. That's why if you look at a lot of SEC games, when SEC against SEC, you don't see too many high scoring games. Why? Because they'll clean your block off, man. Like what I'm gonna tell you another thing that pisses me off, man. That really still. What did we learn back in doggone in youth football, like middle school, high school? You playing middle linebacker, somebody come across your face. What you do, bro? Within 5 yards,
You got to put hands on.
man. They
It's a
let these
must.
people run scot free, man.
That's the rule. You can do it. It's legal.
They let these people run scot free, man. Why they running scot free, man? They letting these people run scot free. You come across my face, bro. Nah, I don't know what you about to do. You ain't finna be the primary target. I'm knocking you off your route, man. I'm bumping you to the doggone D lineman. Then I'm coming dropping back to my route. Like I was still teaching that. You know what I mean? Within 5 yards, referees ain't gonna really see you get it about 7. You know what I mean? Don't pull at him, but you know what I mean. You don't let him run scot free across your face. That's the dude. That's the check down guy.
Yeah, and all that helps out because if you bump a person off their route, it takes them longer to get to their route.
Thank
It gives the defensive lineman more time to get to the quarterback.
Thank
It lets the DB be able to pick up that route runner,
Yep.
and they're not running full speed blast to them because they've been thrown off the route. So it all helps out the whole team. The whole goal of the team on that defensive play. But it's a must. You have to do it.
You got to do
Yeah,
it, bro.
man.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was bad, man. But like I said, that's stuff definitely that the defense could have done. But I mean, definitely the offense put them in the worst position to win. Like I say,
yeah, you're right.
4 interceptions, bland offense, not
And
even
your defense
trying
still
to.
had you in the game. Still, man, think about this, Mark. They scored. We was down. You know what I mean? We was down a touchdown or whatever. Defense went out there and stopped them again. Gave you the ball with less than a minute go. I mean, what else can you ask for, bro?
Right. I'm telling you, like we done our job.
What else can you ask for?
Yeah, I done my job at that point.
So
Yeah, man.
that's why I got this shirt on, man, because I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired of it, man. Like I'm so sick and tired of it, man. Like you know what, Mark? I'm gonna say this, and you can contest to this, bro, because Auburn used to have a problem at the DB. They never used to have a problem at linebackers and D linemen. It's always when we lose game, it's always by a slip up between a cornerback and a safety. You know what I mean? He getting killed, he getting routed up, he giving up big plays. None of that happened, bro.
It was your offense. Yeah, no doubt about it. It was your offense and the lack of changing.
Yep.
The lack of adjusting is
Yep.
what did it. So I mean, I'm pretty sure, like I said, your backup quarterback actually, he's actually good. that's the thing about it. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see him.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and you know, I love Nick Saban. I hate him because we played him. You know, that was our rivalry. That's our rivalry. But as a coach, I love him. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, he would have pulled him.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it.
He would have pulled him. He probably pulled it in the first quarter. He wouldn't even wait till halftime. He would have probably pulled.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing Nick Saban always said. You have to do. You have to adjust, and that's why he said he's always been he stayed in the race and he was still winning games and still winning championships because he was never too afraid to adjust. You know, like we say, going from how it used to be in the early 2000, 2009, 2010, you know, in that era when games were 6-9. You feel me? You're not gonna see games like that no more. You know, because the times changed and he knew what to do. That's when he went and got Lane Kiffin. You know, so you have to change with the times, man.
I mean, think about this, Mark. This proved that he will adjust. Because what we used to beat y'all by, like when we had Gene Chizik and all them. Remember what we used to do? Remember you remember it was before what's the doggone old Chip Kelly. Remember we used to run that Herb offense? Y'all can't even get set. He was and Nick Saban like, man, hold on, what? Like he said, you know what? I'm gonna start doing it now.
Yeah.
You remember that the next year y'all started kind of doing, and y'all started adjusting for it because we started doing it before Chip Kelly started doing it.
Well, it sure was, man. You ain't lying. That quick offense used to give us trouble, but because nobody did it against us.
Exactly.
Yeah, and they did it, and it was working. So you're right.
Think about this. Your middle linebackers ain't even supposed to be. You can't train middle linebackers like you used to train them back in the day. You know, they used to be 250, 60 pounds middle linebacker because you got to stop the run. Nah, we need you about 230, 225 because you got to be able to stop that run. So we gonna put the match, but you need to be able to get in coverage.
Yeah. You got to stop the run and run.
I'm feeling some type of way about. I mean, I made a post, bro. I made a post on Auburn game, bro. I said what I said, man. I said, hey, Hugh Freeze, you're on the hot seat, bro. You should have been made an adjustment at halftime. But I said, I'm gonna tell you exactly what the verbatim. I said, the Auburn fan base will get you fired before the administration will.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Just about any fan base will.
Yeah, you talking about an SEC school? Well, I ain't gonna even say SEC school. If you're in on this list, Auburn, Alabama, Tennessee, who else? Who's a Georgia? If you within those 4, 5, maybe 6 fan bases, your fans get you out of that, bro.
Well, yeah, they're definitely
and that's all off on a Paul Feinbaum show. And then they have to work their way down. They already got a GoFundMe account for Hugh Freeze, man. Saying, hey, we requesting $26 million to get him out of there.
Not Hugh Freeze, man.
And I put on the ticket say it's a freeze melting. Hey, I don't even think that thing ever freeze, bro. To be real with you, I don't think it ever froze, man. Because I ain't seen it yet. I ain't seen it.
Y'all was so happy when he came to freeze warnings and all this stuff. Yeah, man. It's definitely melted. It's lukewarm now.
It ain't never freeze, bro. It ain't never freeze, man. But hey, let's switch over to let's talk about Notre Dame, man. Notre Dame. It's Marcus Freeman on the hot seat, bro. I'm just gonna go ahead and start like this. We know they lost. They lost to an FCS team, Northern Illinois. They paid them $1.4 million. It got beat. We talked about it on last episode. Hey, what's going on? Do you think how much time you give? Now that talk about this, bro. Is he on a hot seat?
This definitely can speed up your hot seat here. Losing like this to, like you said, an FCS school. I mean, Northern Illinois is not a pushover team, at all, because they are a top FCS school and they play great football. But losing to Notre Dame, Notre Dame losing to them definitely can start the noise. Like I said, I don't necessarily think he's in the hot seat as of right now at this point. But it can start at the top.
All right. I'm going to read off Notre Dame remaining schedule. This coming up Saturday, they got Purdue. Then they have Miami, Ohio. They got Louisville. I'm sorry. They got Stanford. They got Georgia Tech. They got Navy, Florida State, Virginia, Army, and then USC. How they playing both Army and Navy in the same year?
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's really fun.
Yeah. They're gonna lose at USC. I'm going ahead and say it right now.
Yeah, they're gonna lose to Louisville.
That's what I'm about to say. That's the next one. I think they're gonna lose Louisville too. What about Georgia Tech?
They could lose to Georgia Tech. Yep, definitely could.
Nah. So they got Purdue, Ohio. They got
I don't know what Virginia looks like.
I
haven't seen. Yeah,
they barely mediocre. But I'll say this: I can see them win Purdue and Miami, Ohio. Then they got Louisville. I'm counting them a loss down. Now they lose Georgia Tech, he out of that, bro.
Why Georgia Tech?
I'm saying that's already going to be 3 losses. You're supposed to be Notre Dame. You think they're going to sit there and let you lose 4 games in the season? And they just made the 12-game playoffs? And he out of there, bro. You lose 3. I wouldn't be surprised they call him for his head after the Louisville loss. But he lose to Georgia Tech too? Right, he out of there, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know why you're so quick to get rid of him. I don't think he.
I'm gonna tell you. So think about it, man. Like we went back and forth on Brian Kelly and how he used to do the Dak Prescott pad your stats, beat up all of these, you know what I mean, teams that you're supposed to beat up on, then lose a big one. He's not even beating up on the team he's supposed to be beating up on. He ain't even padding his stats. So what do you have to fall on? And that's Notre Dame. So you already know Notre Dame always been what, 2 or 3 teams out of the Final Four, whatever. Now they just made that thing to 12-game playoffs. You 3-4 games out of the 12-man playoffs.
Yeah, I mean
that's the reason I'm more speaking about the history behind Notre Dame and what they're expecting. They're not expecting to be no mediocre team.
No, they're not. I mean, they never are. You know, they never think they'll be a mediocre team. So
yeah. So that's the reason why I say that. You know what I mean? Like I think these prominent big schools that been missing the playoffs by a few games here and there, and they're missing the 12-game playoff. I think they're gonna basically be a problem. I think they're gonna be those gonna be the ones that actually lose their jobs, pretty much, man. To be real with you.
We'll see, man. We'll see. Like I said, I don't know if he's necessarily on the hot seat, but it definitely can speed up you being on the hot seat at this point in time. I mean,
let's say this. It depends on how bad they get beat. I add that factor in. It's also how bad they get beat.
That definitely counts too. No doubt about it. But 3 games.
And now we talk about we'll say Louisville and we'll say Georgia Tech. Well, I'll just say those next. I'm not gonna count USC because I'm gonna count that as a loss. We're gonna say so. I mean, that's 4 games they lose. But I say Georgia Tech and I say Louisville. If he loses those games by more than 2 touchdowns, what you think gonna happen?
And that can definitely speed up this hot seat there at that point in time. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if it looks like you're not competing against these schools, then
that's a problem. And they supposed to compete. They supposed to be competing.
Right. I mean, like they did the first game. They came out and played good the first game.
Yep. Let's recap on this, bro. Let's talk about the Texas and Michigan game. Obviously, Texas beat them 31-12. Michigan don't even look like, I don't know who that is. And Texas. Let's talk about first. I had a question about Texas, man. How do you see Texas right now so far? How do you like them so far?
It look good. I mean, it looks like a Stark offense.
Boy,
You know,
they
it's
look
prolific.
scary.
They all over the field. He's running motions. He got a
What
lot
Bryce
going
Young
on.
doing at the Panthers right
Right,
now?
right. Hugh Freeze is putting them in a great position to win. I mean, not Hugh Freeze. I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Sark. Yeah, Sark
Yeah.
is putting them in a great position to win right now at this point in time. Quinn Ewers look good.
Yep.
Even Archie Manning came in and scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep. Yep.
So
I
yeah,
mean, they
they
looking.
do good.
What did I say at the beginning of the season? I said, bro, I'm a little nervous about Texas. I think they're gonna be a problem, and they is a freaking problem right now.
Already, they show is, and they look like a problem. They
And
looking
beating
like
up
a
on
problem.
Michigan like they did, I don't know if that gave them the confidence, but they looking good, bro. A
Yeah.
team like that, you don't want to give them too much confidence. You got to keep it close. You know what I mean, or whatever.
hmm
Not the way they got beat. Also, how you feel about Michigan, man? As far as the coach there, man. There's the reason why I'm
Um,
asking that question. I tell you why I'm asking that question. You know he's still not under contract, right?
well, I know he just signed he signed a deal. It was like he signed.
It's
It was some
it's
type
a
of deal. I
it's,
don't
it's a
know if it was
temporary
just
deal.
right,
It's not a final
right,
head coaching deal. They basically bumped up his pay, but they ain't
right.
signed him as the head coach deal.
Right, it's like they got him still as an interim or something.
Yes, yes.
At this point in time, which is crazy. So they already must didn't believe in him.
All right,
As
that's what I'm
of
talking
right
about.
now.
I'm thinking that was on purpose. First of all, I'm thinking that's on purpose.
Mm,
Second of all, is they was hoping Harbaugh would stay and come back. So really, it's like it was too late for them to try to find a coach to replace him. So I don't think
mm,
that was their option. Like they said, we'll just keep paying him this, whatever, give him a little bit more money, but he ain't really our guy. And then now he got it. When you in that motion, you got to go out there and prove you that guy. He ain't proving it.
mhm.
So now you're helping them out. Like, hey, you ain't even on a contract, so we ain't got to buy clause that we got to give you whatever. So I think it was all designed, and this is more of a interview season for him, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it do make sense, and the interview that they just put on didn't look good. I mean, truth be told, they were playing Texas, and Texas is a good team. But as far as like their offense go, their offense look, shall I say again, bland.
Yeah,
It, it
yeah,
definitely didn't look good.
yeah.
It wasn't spectacular. There wasn't any fireworks, anything like that. So,
Mhm. Yeah,
yeah, man. Like I say, week 3, 4 is definitely gonna tell a lot. I mean, we're starting to see what we needed to see out of teams.
yeah,
But like 4 usually gives you that week to see if any
yeah.
adjustments have
That's
been
where
made.
the rankings start
Right,
coming out
right,
too.
yeah.
Yep,
Any recalibrations basically
yep.
at that point in time. So.
I'm gonna
Mhm.
talk about another powerful team, man. We're supposed to be top. I ain't gonna say power team, but I'd say a big school that they expect more. Uh, Penn State. They battered sweep by Bowling Green.
Yep,
Uh, you know what I mean? They beat them 34-27.
sure did.
Hey, you they might be the balance of the transfer portal. You know what I mean? With team people can switch teams as they see fit. I think they put a cap on it. You can't switch more than 2 times now, but they barely squeaked by Bowling Green. That's another one that Penn State. You know what I mean? I'm only reason I keep talking about this hot seat, man, because Penn State. Penn State is almost like Notre Dame to me. They always miss. They always miss that. They lose that big game and put them right out the playoffs. About 4 games. They expect more from Penn State. You get what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I'm talking about team. When I say hot seat, I'm talking about teams that it's expected to at least make the 12 team playoffs.
hmm
So I don't, bro. Penn State, I don't know. They're gonna make some changes, man. I don't know if they're gonna make some changes or not. I can see it in the next 2 years. If they miss the 12 team playoffs and then they miss it twice in a row, they done. That coach done.
Man, and I just don't think it's Penn State doesn't have that anymore. They don't have that anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think they're not they're going to be one of those programs that falls by the wayside over the years because I don't think they can get those type of recruits anymore.
Yeah, based on if you can't get the recruits in there, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a major problem.
That's a major problem.
Yeah. So I don't think they'll be that school like they were in the in the 90s and the 80s and the 70s. Yeah. They'll be like you say though 15. You know what I'm saying? A ranked 15 to 20 team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They'll always get preseason ranked in the top 10, always for some reason.
Just like USC always be for the last 20 years.
Right, Ohio State. Right. Yeah, they always throw them in there and end up far back somewhere. So but definitely them. I don't know. I just don't think Penn State can keep up.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. Wholeheartedly.
You know that they talked about them once again preseason about their coach possibly being on the hot seat because he can't win the big games or get past the big games. I mean, which is true, but I just don't. Like I said, I don't think he can get those players in there anymore. Nobody wants to go to Penn State and play like that anymore.
I'll say this 12-team playoff was a blessing and a curse to some schools. And I'd say the blessing is it allows some teams to get an opportunity to play in the playoffs that would normally probably miss it by a game or two. I mean, by a win or whatever, or miss it kind of by the rankings or whatever. It's a curse because these schools like Notre Dame and Penn State that it's expected to make at least the 12-team playoffs might not make it.
Yeah, and that's just true.
At
this point in time.
And you got teams that you got teams that surprise the people. Like I say this, like Syracuse. Syracuse is actually looking pretty doggone good, bro. Like they looking real good.
Syracuse looked good last year.
Yeah. So you got some teams like that. Then you got Miami coming back. You get what I'm saying? Like that's another one, bro. Like, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, like if Brian Kelly don't figure it out, I don't know, man. I mean, they play Nicholas. That's a doggone. I think they D1AA. I know they FCS school, bro. They won 44-21.
Yeah, and it was like a 10-point lead in like the third quarter at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty ugly at first.
Yeah, so I mean, you got, bro. It's a little scary, man. I hate to say this, man. It could that I can see out of the SEC. I'll say this: out of the SEC in a 12-team playoff, I can see Ole Miss being in there. I can see Alabama being in there. I can see Georgia being in there. I can see Tennessee being in there.
Missouri.
Yep, Missouri. That's 5 right there. I can see 5 to 6 teams make it out of the SEC alone.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
Now,
but they're not gonna lower.
Yeah, they ain't gonna allow it. because what's the old saying we always say about the SEC? We end up, you got by week 4, you got bro like doggone 4 or 5 top 10 SEC teams, but then eventually they got to play each other and they beat up on each other. So that's always a blessing and curse with the SEC because we always end up having to play each other, but we are better than all the other teams in other conferences. But you look at these other conferences, man, there's some scary teams in other conferences too, especially the ACC when you got Syracuse, you got Miami. I mean, those two right there, out of the ACC scares me. I can't. At the beginning of the season, I would have said, look, maybe UNC, but they just got their quarterback broke his femur, so he's done for the season. So I don't know what they're gonna look like. Obviously, I can't count Florida State. I mean, if Clemson can do a bounce back, maybe they can squeak in there. If they bounce back, I don't know, bro. I don't know about them. You got to do a hell of a coaching job to reverse Clemson right now.
Yeah, man. Like I say, we got to week 4.
Yeah.
Just to see what people started to look like.
And then now that we can talk about actually, I forgot they're in the ACC now. Cal is in the ACC.
Oh, okay.
But they switched over. They're in the ACC.
Yeah.
So Cal is another ACC team to worry about.
Yeah, Cal looking good, man.
Yeah. Then USC looking good.
I said Cal and USC, they definitely.
So I mean, bro, if you almost and maybe our next episode we'll do it after this week. We'll do whatever our next episode is after this following football Saturday. We can kind of look at the top 10 teams and tell you what they're gonna be. Top 12, we can almost tell you what it's gonna be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can definitely give them a rundown. Let people know.
Yeah, we can. But, I mean, I wonder is Ohio State. They're gonna throw Ohio State in there. Look at Ohio State right now. Let me look at their schedule. Let me look at their schedule right now. Ohio State right now. I would say 2-0. They ain't played nobody the first 2 games, so that it don't even matter. They played Akron, beat them 52-6. Then they played Western Michigan. They beat them 56-0. But then they got Marshall, Michigan State, Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, Penn State, Purdue, Northwestern, Indiana, and Michigan. If they can beat Iowa, because Iowa looked pretty good. Iowa, Oregon, Nebraska, and Penn State, they're going to be in a 12-team playoff.
Yeah. Yeah, if they can pull it out with them, because they'll beat Michigan.
Yeah, they'll beat Michigan. Yeah, they'll beat Michigan. They'll beat the crap. I ain't going to say beat the crap out of Michigan. I got a feeling something's going to happen with Michigan with this. Hey, how do you think? What you think about South Carolina, man?
South Carolina look all right. A little better than I thought they would. They manhandled Kentucky. So
yeah. That's why I said so. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely could be a sleeper.
Yeah, they could be a sleeper. Yeah. They usually one thing about South Carolina, they not consistent. You know what I mean with their wins. They'll start out high, they'll fall off real quick. Oh, another. I ain't gonna say another team, but I don't. Oklahoma, man. I don't think Oklahoma's ready for the SEC right now. I don't think Oklahoma is ready for. Oh, I forgot something before you say something. I forgot to add Texas on that when we were talking about SEC teams. When we're talking about, I see like 5 or 6 teams come out of the SEC. I've got the name on Texas.
Oh, I thought you said Texas.
I didn't say it. But Oklahoma, man, they struggled against Houston, a 0-2 team. They beat them 16-12. And
yeah, they did. that was definitely not impressive.
Yeah. And they got one, I ain't gonna say easy game. I mean, it's whatever you want to call it, but they play Tulane next. Then they start that gauntlet. They go Tennessee, Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, all in a row.
Ooh, it's gonna be beat up after wrestling. Somebody gonna be down some players. Yeah. That's a lot
Hey,
on the
they gonna need extra ice for the ice tub after them.
What you think?
Hey,
Everybody take an ice tub bath.
yeah. But hey, man, I know we were talking about last episode. We could close out on this one, man. But my question is, well, no, I got two more things we're gonna talk about. One more with the college football, then we'll transfer to something else. But do you think Colorado is gonna fix it this year?
Fix it?
The trenches.
I don't know, man. I don't know, because it's the same issues from last year that they're having. It's the same stuff going on. They can't block anybody. The D lineman can't hold up right now at this point in time. Like I said, it's the same issues. So I don't know, man. I really don't know.
Do you think it's repairable? If you was at Colorado right now playing, do you? I mean, obviously we don't know how the practices are going or whatever. I don't think it's an athlete problem that they don't have. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder, is it a coaching problem? Not the head coach, not Coach Prime. I'm talking about either the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator. Because obviously, when we talked about man coverage, they turn their back to that's the defensive coordinator calling that play. And then offense coordinator, obviously they not designing the right plays for offense to create the run, man. I don't even think they ain't even got the right personnel because they're trying to run with just 5 linemen, no tight end down.
Yeah, and I think once Shador is holding on to the ball too long too. I think he's encapsulated on his numbers. That's what it seems like. Just throw the ball away because now you taking unnecessary hits and you sitting there trying to make a play at this point in time. Like I said, nobody's going to look. They're not going to look at the film and be like, okay, he went 22 for 32. Oh, he had 10. You know what I'm saying? They're not reading the tape like that. Let the ball go, man. Let to play another down at this point in time. So like I said, they're still having the same little issues that haven't got fixed. I think it can be fixed. I say that it can be fixed. I just don't know if it will be.
I'd say this. If they don't change two things for offense, they don't change their personnel, and I'll go into detail what I mean by personnel. If they don't change their personnel and their scheme, it's not going to change this year. And what I mean by personnel is they're not running no tight ends. They're not running any mismatches, and that's going to the scheme piece. So if you look at if you look at, say, what was like, we'll go back to Bill Belichick. Wes Welker on an outside linebacker. Do you call that a mismatch?
No.
Okay. Now think about this. Now if you got Gronk and Wes Welker, they both getting guarded by the outside linebackers on opposite side. Is that a mismatch? One of them is a mismatch.
Maybe Wes. Just depending on the linebacker you have on that side, I would say, because like I said, most linebackers these days are hybrid. So I guess it just depends on the linebacker you have.
All right. So now let's switch it over to Miami Dolphins. Is the outside linebacker line on Tyreek Hill a mismatch?
Anybody on Tyreek Hill is a mismatch. safety, a cornerback. It was a mismatch on Tyreek Hill.
All right. So is Travis Hunter on outside linebacker a mismatch?
Travis Hunter?
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely could be a mismatch.
They ain't doing no mismatches. Now, how many times have you called an outside linebacker when they putting Tyreek Hill in motion? Or a Wes Welker back in the day, or Judah Element back in the day? What I'm saying is they're not creating no mismatches at all throughout the game. They're lining up always on the outside, but you're not leveraging your scheme and your personnel correctly. That's what I meant by the scheme of personnel. Right. So that's why when I started teaching myself that when I started going to coach, I'm like, I need to figure out what my weaknesses is when I would coach defense. What's my weakness is? What I don't want to see. If I get somebody mismatch, all right, I need to figure out, hey, I can't, if this happens, I need somebody to change something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm gonna have to audible out of this or whatever. They not causing no mismatches, bro.
They not. I mean, and like I said, it's the same issue. I mean, they got a different play calling and offensive play calling. Maybe he'll open up the book a little bit. He's gonna have to for anything to change. He's gonna have to at this point in time because it's the same stuff. You know, I mean, you can't keep throwing it up. They're playing street ball with Travis Hunter. Just throw it to me and let him catch it. Right? You can't keep doing that. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to create some type of mismatch, as far as you say. You know, bunch sets. Like I say, trips wide.
If you come out of the power offense, that's easy to coach against.
Yeah, power plays. I mean, like I said, they're not setting up the run plays. They're not doing anything. So yeah, they just need to throw the old book away or what the plays that they're calling. You know, stop running them so much and often and run some new stuff. You know, give people a different look, because if you give me the same film, if I can go back 5-6 games when you run the same plays, guess what? I'm not worried about you calling nothing else because you're more likely than that. So
exactly.
Yeah, they need to change it up.
That's why I meant by the personnel and the scheme. They're not creating no mismatches. They not. I mean, I'm trying to remember, bro. I don't see them. They not even running the ball with the tight end to help seal that outside or block, get to that next level. Like, and that right there, just running a tight end set would free up a lot of stuff, because he can chip block, he can sit off the edge. You're trying to get on the outside. Also, he can block for 2 seconds and then cut across the middle. Right. He's your check down dude.
Yeah, the chip block.
Like, that's simple. Like, that's what blows my mind. Think about this, Mark. We can start going down in history. Most championship teams and most Super Bowl teams, they got a tight end, bro.
Of course.
And they utilizing the tight end.
Of course. No doubt about it. Yeah, and that goes back as far it goes. So, but yeah, you just have to do it, though. I mean, the college level and the pro level, the tight end, you have to utilize them for an extra block, and an extra wide receiver.
Yep.
You just have to do it. I mean, like I said, it can be fixed. I just don't know if it will be fixed.
Yeah.
Okay. They got the right coach for it, so
they got the right coach for it, man. But God,
make it happen.
I mean, like you said, you could go off last year, FEMA beat them because they doing the same exact thing.
Right, same thing, same
they
issue.
Create no miss. I mean, bro, man, you almost, and I maybe they trying to conserve Travis Hunter energy, because I'll be putting him in motion just like I put Tyreek in motion. But he got to go on the other side of the ball too. So that's now it's like, all right, do you want to give up some defensive time for him to run his offense or whatever? But they're not creating no mismatches. I mean, I always go back to it. You know, I hate University of Alabama football because that's our rivalry. But I look back how Sark used Devontae Smith.
And all the boys, yeah, he showed it. He used them all the way. Yeah. Reverses, deep routes. He did everything inside. Like I say, random emotions, inside man, slide routes. Put him on the safety, because the safety usually have to pick it up if it's in man. He did it all, and that's what you have to do.
Now, have you seen any of that from Colorado?
No, Colorado has none of that at all.
That's an offensive coordinator problem.
It is, no doubt about it. So, like I say, and he came from the NFL. So, I mean, you hope he'll change it up. Hopefully, he'll switch it up. Hopefully, he knows what to do. He's studying film to make those changes. Hopefully, somebody says something to him about it. So,
bro. All right, man. Hey, the last subject of the day, man. It's by as big. It's a big story. It's by as big a story as Tyreek Hill, man. The Super Bowl halftime performance. They announced going to be Kendrick Lamar in New Orleans,
yeah,
and
been a lot of backlash about it already. I mean,
I,
as it should be.
as it should be, bro. I don't know. Everybody point the blame at Jay-Z because he's on the I guess decision making board for the NFL or performances or whatever. They are Roger Goodell, but everybody want both their heads, man, because it don't even make any sense, man. And I'm gonna tell what's irking me. Like, I'm not gonna speak for everybody else. What irking me the most is when it was in LA, you made sure you got LA legends, your Snoop Dogs, your Ice Cube, your Dr. Dre's. You made sure that you had legends in there. Now you in New Orleans. That turned hip hop upside down, man. Between No Limit and Cash Money and Lil Wayne. So if you talk about we looking for somebody, you got to say Lil Wayne because why? Lil Wayne that made rock albums, rock and roll albums. He did a diverse set of music. That blows my mind right there, bro.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, there's been a lot of people in uproar from every coast, from coast to coast to coast. So, in regards to it, I mean, you definitely have to have Wayne in there.
Yeah.
But it's deeper than rap, like everybody says, and a lot of people are finding out about it at this point in time. There were issues back in the day as far as with Wayne and Jay-Z and Drake, and Drake is signed to Wayne. So it's deeper than rap as far as what's going on. It definitely should have been Wayne. Everybody knows that. Like I said, everybody's speaking out against it. Artists, athletes, everybody, definitely the fans. At this point in time, it should have been him, and that's more likely why this was old beef probably that's still going on. But like Cam and Mason was saying, to be beefing about this at his age, if this is the reason why Jay-Z did it, is ridiculous.
I mean, kids
It's
wanted
terrible.
him from New Orleans. Come on, man.
Yeah, at all, and they know it, but they know it. Like I said, and that's probably why it's something else in the water, and like I say, it's something in the milk that ain't clean. But and it's coming to light. It's coming to light at this point in time. But it definitely should have been Wayne, and it's definitely a slap in the face. And it's gonna be talked about up until then. It's gonna be talked about at that moment too. People gonna be discussing all the way through it.
I wouldn't be surprised if people just turn off the TV at halftime because of this.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see this performance. I don't even want to see it. I mean, like it ain't no knock against Kendrick Lamar. Great artist. You know what I mean?
No, not at all.
It's about doing what's right. Because this ain't the first time the Super Bowl been in New Orleans. It was in New Orleans 12 years ago. You didn't have Lil Wayne perform.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy, man. I don't know how they would make a decision like that, but I mean, like I say, I know why though. At this point,
bro,
know the reason why. It's crazy. It's no answer for it.
Crazy. It's no explanation. I'll be real with you, man. I probably would. I don't know if Kendrick Lamar will even do this or ever do this, but I know personally, if it was me, I got selected to do that from being our generation and growing up to Cash Money and No Limit. You know what I mean? That's the only thing we listened to back, dog, almost in middle school. Every artist from those two companies. You know what I mean? And if that was me and I got offered that, I'm turning that down, bro. I'm saying, nah, bro, I can't do that. You ain't getting paid to perform at the NFL. They get you hoping that you blow up while all your music start getting more listened to. You're not getting paid. The NFL do not pay anybody for the Super Bowl performance. I'm not taking that. They ain't even right to the city of New Orleans, man. They don't want to see me.
They sure don't. They sure don't want to see.
They don't want to see you.
It's gonna continue to be backlash about it. Hopefully it gets rectified some type of way. I don't know if it will, but hopefully it does. So, but it definitely was a slap in the face to Lil Wayne and his career and everything he's done at this point.
I mean, I don't know how if it'll get fixed or not get fixed, but I hope it will get fixed. If it does get fixed, I guarantee that's gonna be the livest Super Bowl. It's gonna be better than the last one when they was in LA. Because I guarantee, I almost think that we might see a doggone Cash Money and No Limit performance.
Yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. It's Wayne, of course. If anybody can do it, it's him, and he will do it. I know him.
Yeah,
they need to make it happen.
New Orleans out for that, man. That's crazy.
They need to make it happen. Make the switch.
Yeah.
Do the right thing.
Yeah, you got to do the right thing, man. But Mark, bro, hey, man, this was a great episode, man. Bro, I'm happy we're able to do this, man. Provided for people that's following us, our subscribers. I know a lot of people probably at work right now, but they're gonna catch you later on. Man, bro, I thank y'all to the subscribers, man. I'm gonna let you close it out, Mark, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. We appreciate everybody. Keep coming back for the news. We're gonna keep feeding it to you. Definitely get ready for more football and more sports. Like I say, shout out to Angel Reese. We know she got hurt with a season injury at this point in time. Definitely send our prayers out to her. Hope she's doing well. Caitlin Clark still busting everybody up, like always. Baseball's gonna kick off in a minute. Playoff baseball definitely. So we're wrapping it up. Come on, Braves, let's pull it out. Like I say, man, we definitely appreciate everybody. Keep coming back, keep clicking, keep sending it to your people.
Yep, I appreciate it, man. Y'all have a great day.
Y'all take care.